Hey, cousins. All right. Looks like the votes are in. Either you all were being really generous with your girl, or you honestly liked what I was given in that AEW Dynamite not really review. And so I will continue to do the reviews of AEW Dynamite next day after the broadcast, unless something exciting takes place and I'm just so excited, which I doubt. I will add those reviews. And somebody made a good point. One of the cousins said, kind of break up the WWE stuff. Yes. Daphne, y'all was touching on it. Y'all not dropping on it like I thought you would. But I wanted to go ahead and get to know the woman, because I'm not going to sit here and act like I know who Daphne was, and I was just so deep in the TNA and things like that. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Those, take it for what it was. It was a heavy episode. It was on, some charged topics being discussed in that episode and things like that. And look out for more curious cases. I'm working on those now. And make sure, if you want something different, something a little, go ahead on over to the Patreon. Go ahead on over to the Patreon and, I don't know. Give me some money. All right, let's go ahead and get into this conversation. So Jon Moxley, he's down to the AEW. Apparently he's the guy that's ruining everything. I spoke about his Death Rider stuff not too long ago. And I understand it then, I don't understand it now. I don't know what he's trying to do or what story he's trying to tell. And from my understanding, don't nobody know what the story is he's trying to tell. Is he like an unhinged cult leader? Is he playing some racist Nazi from Romper Stomper, Australian independent film? Is he, still running from the big dog all those years ago when he left WWE? Is he still trying to find his way? I don't know what the fuck Moxley got going on. Seems like the only person who loves Moxley is Renee. Renee Young, Renee Paquette. She loves him. That's her husband. He apparently fucked her and have kids. So something about him is sexy for her. But it's not sexy for us. So Jon Moxley got fans talking following his latest stunt over down to the AEW. Let's read the article, because this is 16 hours after, okay? While Moxley has been known to up the violence in his matches with barbed wire, skewers, and broken glass, all previously used, a recent match featured the world champ went viral on social media and made many uncomfortable over what took place. Give credit where credit's due. It's Alex Hunt with ITR Wrestling News. Okay, this is from, again, 16 hours ago, if you're listening to this. In a rematch from Revolution, Moxley once again put the title on the line against Cope on the March 19th episode of AEW Dynamite, this time in a street fight that did not take place in the street. It did not take place in the street, guys. While standard weapons such as tables and chairs were part of the early stages, Cope later made things rated R by bringing in his nail-fill board Spike into the bout. Following multiple shots to Moxley's midsection, the world champ was suplexed onto the board. The board remained stuck in Moxley's back for an extended period, with commentary noting that he needed a tetanus shot immediately. The match was then paused as Wheeler Yuta and the referee attempted to free Mox as the world champ looked to be in incredible pain over what just happened. Finally free from the spike, Mox went over to win the match by choking out Cope following interference from the Death Riders and Nick Wayne. The clip went viral on social media, with many voicing their concerns for Moxley's well-being and questioning why the spot was allowed to go ahead, as it was considered too far even for Moxley match, which may have become notorious for being violent. However, there have been some who have praised Moxley for taking the spot. Dry mouth Dave Meltzer. He said there are several individuals who are supposed to fly in that couldn't, so they drove in. I believe Mox was one of the people who drove in like 11 hours to get into the building because they couldn't fly in. What does that have to do with anything? I don't know. But I'll tell you this. The sickos are not amused. I'll speak for myself. As a person who, peeps in and out of AEW, I actually sat down and watched it. And for this to be the match that I watched fully in a very long time. It was unfortunate because it harkened back to WWE attitude for me. Just crash TV, throw it at the wall to get a ratings grab. This is what everybody wants to see, bloodlust and a lot of ignorance. Okay, because at the end of the day, I don't know what the story that was being told. I don't know why, it's a street fight, why it's not given what I thought it was. Like, I don't really know how to articulate what I saw and what I feel, but I will say this. The way that could have went so wrong, he was impaled in the back with those spikes. Now, those spikes were long. It's not like it was small bristles. They were long. Behind, in your back, you got your kidneys back there, you got your lungs, you got your liver. There's a lot of stuff tucked back there beyond the rib cage, because your rib cage has the floating ribs and it stops at some point. He could have been impaled and injured. He could have punctured a lung. He could have punctured his spleen. He could have punctured his kidney. He could have done a lot of damage in the middle of that ring. And we, the fans, are sitting there watching this and wouldn't even fucking know until the motherfucker bled out, and then we all traumatized. It's a random Wednesday. So the headline would have read, wrestler Jon Moxley, real name Jonathan Good, passed away in the middle of an AEW ring because he was impaled on a board of nails on a random Wednesday. Tony Khan okayed this. This was brought to Tony Khan, okay? Jon Moxley brought this to Tony Khan. I was like, listen, this is what I want to do. I want to get slammed on a bunch of spikes. And Tony Khan probably was like, yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, whatever you want to do, John. Whatever you want to do. Whatever, Mox. Give me a hug, man. Come on, let's snort this coke together. Adam Copeland, sir, you look like a billy goat that lives on the side of a mountain, who's not as sure-footed as they used to be. You look terrible, sir. You got choked out by a guy that got impaled on spikes, which, to be honest, should have been the end of the match. But somehow he was allowed to and, win the match. I don't give a fuck if a whole brigade of army lieutenants ran in and helped. The match should have ended with the impalement spot. These are other things why I can't stand a lot of these false finishes and shit, because what finisher actually works? I'm going to leave it right there, honestly. What y'all think about it? I know, we really didn't dive in too much on the AEW review, but now that I'm looking at it, it was so unnecessary. It did too much. I don't think he was prepared to be, literally impaled. But it was so fucking dangerous and so fucking reckless and so fucking stupid that is it going to bump the ratings? No, probably not. You actually probably have people see that, say, ew, and turn it. You got Tommy Dreamer, who clearly has CTE. He was like, this is disgusting, and I'm hardcore all the way. I can see New Jack right now saying, that's a dumb motherfucker there. I wouldn't have did nothing like that. You got to pay me. You got to pay me. John, I see now why Vince McMahon kept you on a short leash. I see now why Brock Lesnar was like, no, I'm not doing dumb shit with you because I got other shit I got to do. I'm a father. Like, the fuck? I see now. Although what WWE had Dean Ambrose doing most of the time was egregious and stupid, because Vince McMahon thought Dean Ambrose was a dork. He thinks Jonathan Good looks like a mophead greaser from the 50s, a dork, and that's how he was basically booked. But Jon Moxley will never peak the way he peaked in WWE simply from being in the Shield. I want somebody to get in the comments and debate me on that. Jonathan Moxley will never peak the way he peaked as Dean Ambrose in the WWE. Let's have the debate in the comments. I'll catch you on the next one. Deuces.